Donald Trump spiraling, rambling incoherently in New Hampshire yesterday in front of a mostly dead silent crowd. There were like 3 or 4 moments in the entire rambling speech where the crowd seemed to come to life, rattled to life by either transphobic or otherwise horrifying comments from Trump, otherwise sitting there like statues. When I went to the Louvre in Paris, the statues showed more signs of life than this crowd in New Hampshire yesterday for Donald Trump. Here, Trump tries to shift the attention away from his own crimes and attacks Joe Biden, who is Catholic, of wanting to go after Catholics. Think about that. Of all the things you could make up about Joe Biden is unique in terms of presidential history in that he's one of the very few presidents that is Catholic. John F. Kennedy was Catholic. It might just be Biden and JFK who have been our Catholic presidents. But Trump says, oh, he's going to go after Catholics. What? What evidence do you have of that?
The Marxist prosecutors who release rapists and murderers while persecuting conservatives. And
by the way, I understand that the audio is a disaster. It must have been Antifa running audio, but that's an issue. That's not our issue. That's the tape here.
People of religion, Catholics. How about Catholics? How would a Catholic ever vote for Joe Biden when there's actually an assault on Catholics? I mean, I don't know how many Catholics are. Who's a Catholic in this room? How would any...
It is New Hampshire, so there was that one guy who clapped.
Anybody as a Catholic, because specifically Catholics are targeted by the FBI and the DOJ. And then you're supposed to vote for Joe Biden. It doesn't make sense. I will direct a completely overhauled DOJ to investigate every radical district attorney and an AG and a DA, okay? Attorney generals all over the country.
It's attorneys general, sir. They're attorneys. They're not generals.
They're crooked as hell. A lot of them are really bad.
All right. So anyway, there's no evidence that Joe Biden is going after Catholics. It's idiotic. Joe Biden, aside from the fact that Joe Biden is Catholic, now you could be Catholic and go after Catholics. Aside from that, Joe Biden also isn't doing it. Trump then rehashing his rants about appliances, staying away from the third element of the bathroom here. Sometimes Trump becomes fixated on toilets. He didn't in this clip, but he is very much obsessed with washing machines and dryers.
They want to take away your gas stoves. Does anybody like gas better? You cook a lot more than I do.
I just switched to induction. I have to tell you, it is phenomenal. I did salute my gas stove as they took it away, though, and I was crying.
Because I have a lot of friends that are really into the cooking thing, and they say gas is better, so... But they want to take it away. They want to take away your washing machines and your dryers. They don't want to give you any water for the washing machine. Even though you have so much water, you don't know what the hell to do with it up here. It flows out into the ocean. They want to take away your...
Yeah. You can have my induction cooktop when you pry it from my cold, dead hands, Joe Biden. By the way, in all honesty, induction is really fantastic. I couldn't recommend it more. Trump again is trying to wrap the audience into being shared victims with his indictment. He's come up with this line. He's using it in those grifty fundraising emails. He's using it in interviews. He says, when they indicted me, they really indicted you, which is, of course, not true. They indicted him.
Democrats, Marxists, communists, and fascists indict me. I consider it a badge, a great, great, beautiful badge of honor and courage.
Remember that there is no evidence of Marxist prosecutors right now.
Because I'm being indicted for you. Democrats, Marxists, communists.
This has just gotten so dumb where, maybe the reason the crowd is dead is they've heard this stuff a million times. I once went to I've told the story before. I went to a Billy Joel concert and Billy Joel came out and said, I don't have any new stuff to play for you. And the crowd went absolutely wild because everybody wants to hear the hits. With Trump, he's been giving the same speech for 3.5 years at this point. No, we've all heard it a million times. We know the trans swimmer, you don't like the trans swimmer, and you showed Abdul a picture of your house. We've heard it a million times. Here's Trump talking about Ron DeSantis.
We have clips of Ron where he had a closed state. We will close our state. He was closed. Now he says, we're so open. He wasn't open. There were some governors like Henry McMaster, because I didn't make anybody close. It was a federalist program. The Democrats all closed. Some governors closed. Some governors closed for a short time. Georgia was closed a little bit for a short time. They did a very good job.
It was a little bit closed. It's sort of like you're a little bit pregnant. The state is somewhat closed. Oh, really? Wow, that's interesting.
If you look at South Dakota, Christie did a very good job. She was open. She kept it open. And some others, they did a very good job. But Ron was actually strongly closed. Remember, he closed the beaches, closed the highways. He didn't want anybody on those highways. Remember, those highways were closed. We want everybody locked in. He would make very threatening speeches. I think he's a tough guy. And but then all of a sudden he's campaigning. I didn't close. And the media, the fake.
I have to tell you, I found no evidence that Ron DeSantis closed the highways. I'm not aware of any state that closed highways. I may be wrong, and I will correct it at the start of the show tomorrow. But closed highways not making sense. Trump claims that CNN's failed former CEO Chris Licht was fired because they had a Trump town hall that got great ratings, which is very stupid. Why would you fire a guy for great ratings?
With The Apprentice, what do you think? How important? In other words, how important was The Apprentice?
Yeah.
No, okay, it's very. She said she's never seen it. That's like, I don't know. I think I'm not insulted by that. She said, all right, well, it's just a little rumor that goes around. They blamed this guy, Jeff Zucker, who got fired at CNN.
Zucker.
I got him his job, and then he got fired, but it took too long to fire him. How about CNN? We did the CNN town hall. Did anybody see it? So it was a ratings bonanza for them. I did it because I was going into enemy territory, but they get lousy ratings. And so I'm sure, there goes their camera. Their camera just went off. Who cares? Their camera just went off.
It didn't.
The little red light, and all of a sudden, what happened to that red light? But you know what? So CNN, so I walk in, and I could see the level of hostility was incredible. But think of it, they fired the head of CNN, and he had the highest rated show in 11 years.
It is not true that Trump's town hall was the highest rated show in 11 years. They fired him because the entire CNN apparatus has had like 40, 50% reduced ratings, which is a nightmare. And then lastly, Trump capping off this completely unhinged speech by saying, how can they arrest me if I'm a candidate? Candidates can't get arrested, apparently.
But they are fighting me. They even tried to have me arrested. I'm a candidate. I said, wait a minute, I'm a candidate. You're arresting a candidate? Yeah, because you're leading. That's why we're arresting.
Well, it's because you appear to have committed crimes. And so this is another story. When Trump gets arrested, it's an arrest of all of his followers, metaphorically. And the reason they arrested him was because he's leading the Republican primary, which of course makes no sense because DeSantis does better against Joe Biden in general election polling. Why would you try to hurt the campaign of the guy that you are more likely to be able to defeat in November of 2024? It doesn't make any sense, my friends. Folks, after the break, I am going to play for you maybe one of the most insane clips of the year. Okay, so stay with us. Make sure you're subscribed on YouTube. It's free. It's free. Listen, Howard Stern said yesterday he doesn't subscribe even though he watches. Okay, so when I say that there's 3 million people around watching and not subscribing, Howard Stern is one of those people, okay? Hit that subscribe button. Let's get to 2 million. Let's do it. Quick break and right back. One of our sponsors today is Fume. Not everything in a bad habit is wrong. So instead of a drastic, uncomfortable change, why not just remove the bad part from your habit? Fume is an innovative, award-winning device that does exactly that. Fume is not electronic. There's no vapor or harmful chemicals. Fume is just a delicious flavored air that makes replacing your bad habit easy. Your Fume comes with an adjustable airflow dial and is designed with movable parts, which is great for fidgeting, which can be great for people breaking bad habits. Look at what people online are saying. They weren't sure what to expect, but ended up loving the taste and the feel. Stopping is something lots of people put off because it's difficult to do. But switching to Fume is easy and enjoyable. There's no reason that you can't be the next Fume success story. Head on over to tryfume.com and use the code PACMAN to save 10%. When you get the Journey Pack, which comes with the device and 3 flavors, the link is down below.